But let's also perhaps move over to our Abuja studios where we have a guest, Frank Mba, who is the police spokesperson on election security ahead of the general elections. We'd like to thank you for joining us in Lunchtime Politics and ask you, how safe are the 36 states and the FCT? And we're talking, how safe are the INEC officers as of now?
First of all, good afternoon, Nigerians. I want to say very categorically that the Nigerian police force and other security services, other security forces in the country are fully prepared and fully ready for these elections. We've carried out our security threat analysis. We've done everything we needed to do. Our deployment strategies have already been put in place, and we are set to go. Of course, I agree with you. There have been two incidences that were recorded, one in INEC office in Abia, which is under investigation, and then another incident that happened in Jos, in Plateau State, which is also under investigation. But you will understand, for instance, that the incident that happened in Jos appears to be an accident. It appears to be a fire accident, though that's preliminary findings from the account of the civilian security person deployed to that office. But in all, both cases are under investigation, and at the end of the investigation, we'll tell Nigerians what our findings are. But for now, I want to reassure Nigerians that security around all INEC facilities across the length and breadth of this country has been fortified. And every other thing that needed to be done to ensure a free and credible election, every other thing that needed to be done to ensure that will provide Nigerians an enabling environment for a crisis-free election, a crime-free election, a violent-free election has been put in place.
Tell us more about... Tell us more about preparations for the poll. How much police personnel, for example, would be assigned to a polling unit? We have over 100,000 polling units across Nigeria.
By its strength alone, the strength of the Nigerian police force clearly will not be able to cover the entire polling units in Nigeria. But the good news here is that we are not working alone. The Nigerian police force will be getting massive support and collaborative support from sister security agencies. We will be working with the DSS, we will be working with immigrations, we will be working with the prisons, the customs, the federal road safety, and the civil defense. And so with the aggregation of the strength of the various agencies, we will certainly be able to cover the entire police stations across the length and breadth of the country.
But by that, would you be inferring that perhaps the police is overwhelmed, and some have said quite that maybe the police is overstretched, especially when you look at the crowd at campaign grounds, for example, and how much the police has failed to protect the lives of people who have lost their lives on some of these grounds?
I don't want to agree that we're overwhelmed. Of course, it's been a very exacting period for us. It's been quite taxing. But at the same time, that's just for a while. I mean, it's a national assignment, and it comes every 4 years. So we're prepared, adequately prepared, both physically and mentally for these challenges. And I just want to reassure people that there's indeed nothing to worry about. There is no threat to national peace. I mean, this is just an election. It's just a general election. We had it in 1999, we had it in 2011, we had it in 2015, we're having it again in 2019, and in the next 4 years, we'll be having a general elections again. So we are prepared, we are prepped up, we've had massive trainings and retraining, and we are fully mobilized, we are fully motivated for
there seems to be a lot of optimism there, and like you mentioned, we've had the elections in the past, but not without its attendant break in security challenges. And, for example, the Northeast, what preparations are you putting, especially in those areas?
At the beginning of this program, I did mention the fact that we carried out security threat analysis across the length and breadth of this country. And what we did is to look at the outcome of those threat analysis, localize the security situation in various parts of the country, and then devise deployment strategies that will take care of those discernible security situations in the various parts of the country. What we've also done is to make sure that our standard operational procedures and our deployment patterns are tailor-made, customized to take care of every challenge that we have noticed in any part of the country. So again, the Northeast is receiving very special attention. We will be working with other security agencies, particularly the Nigerian military, to ensure that elections held in those areas are scheduled. And at the risk of repeating myself, the 2015 general elections came and went smoothly. The Northeast, the security challenges we have today were still there in 2015. You may even need to know that some parts of the Northeast have equally recorded appreciable progress, are far more better today than they were in 2015. Yet we held elections in that region, 2015. So I also want Nigerians to know that officers and men of Nigerian police force have participated in policing electoral processes across the world. Most of those places where we participated in peacekeeping operations, those countries were actually post-conflict regions. We participated in policing the electoral processes in Namibia, in Angola, in Liberia, in Cote d'Ivoire, in Gambia, in Sierra Leone, in East Timor, in Bosnia, Yugoslavia, and in so many other parts of the world. Some of those countries were post-conflict regions with some of the challenges we are having today were also noticed or discernible in those areas, but probably in different forms. So, and we participated and delivered on our mandate in those missions. And with all the experiences we've garnered from policing elections from 1999 till date, and all the international exposures we have also had in policing conflict regions across the world, I think officers and men, I know it, officers and men of the Nigerian police force have all it takes to deliver on that mandate, even in this 2019.
We'd like to thank you, Mr. Frankenbat, for joining us on the program, Police Spokesperson.